Mouth-watering chocolates, sweet lollipops, nostalgic candies from the past, and homemade ice cream.
Thanks so much for joining us, and I'm your host, Marie Choi. And this is Common Sense, where we feature local Torrance businesses. Well, we have a very sweet treat for you today. Ice cream is often called the great American dessert, and we found a dessert palace that fills every inch of its space with sweetness. It's a mom and pop shop that has been serving homemade ice cream and delicious treats for nearly 50 years.
The first ice cream parlor in America opened in New York City in 1776. One of the oldest ice cream parlors right here in Torrance is Marcie's Ice Cream and Candy Store. According to current owner Bonnie Neal, the store probably opened its doors in 1957. Since then, there have been at least 6 different owners.
One of the people I worked with, her husband's secretary's husband owned it, and they said they were selling it. So my ex-husband and I came over and took a look at it, and the reason it appealed to me was I'm a sugar junkie. I think sugar and chocolate are basic food groups, and I really like sweets. My mother likes sweets, it's hereditary. So it was something I could really get interested in. Oh boy, sugar.
She bought the 1,000 square foot store in 1988 after deciding that selling real estate wasn't for her. And although she didn't have experience in making ice cream, she admits it wasn't that hard.
I had no background until we got the store, and the previous owner showed us how to do it. It's really not that difficult, you just have to have the right equipment.
At Marcie's, Bonnie uses this electro-freeze batch machine to make ice cream. The reason homemade ice cream tastes so much better than store-bought is because it's made from fresher ingredients and less air.
If you buy something from a great big commercial ice creamery, any of the major brands, they have great, hundreds of gallons that they make at a time. So even though we make more than the little gallon in the home ones, we have about a 6 to 8 gallon capacity. That's a lot smaller than 100. And I think they're less capable of pumping the air in.
Ice cream consists of a mixture of dairy ingredients such as milk and non-fat milk and ingredients for sweetening and flavoring such as fruits, nuts, and chocolate chips. By federal law, ice cream must contain at least 10% milk fat before the addition of bulky ingredients and must weigh a minimum of 4.5 pounds to the gallon. Based on ice cream consumption figures from the International Dairy Foods Association, the top 5 flavors are vanilla, chocolate, Neapolitan, strawberry, and cookies and cream.
Chocolate chip ice cream is my favorite.
I love vanilla ice cream, a good vanilla. Vanilla ice cream with hot fudge on it. Yeah, it's pathetic. And my other one is, if I'm getting an ice cream cone, will be chocolate. So I'm not exciting at all. But we let you taste things. So you can come in and the ones that sound appealing, you can taste them and see if they taste as good as they sound. Well, right now, I have a smart aleck who made some Asian garlic salmon, and it's absolutely disgusting. He made one just recently called Lucky Charms that people seem to like. It's vanilla with Lucky Charms in it. And I guess the Lucky Charm people just love it.
According to the International Dairy Foods Association, ice cream and related frozen desserts are consumed by more than 90% of households in the United States. Bonnie tells us who stops in.
We're like the circus. We're for children of all ages. My youngest customer, they stopped in. When I first got the store, some customers came in, and she had just had her baby, and so it was less than 2 days old. And they put some ice cream on his tongue, and boy, did he cry. It's a mean thing to do to a brand newborn baby. And then I have, some 90-year-old children, and then the gamut in between. A lot of kids come in and a lot of adults come in.
I'm actually here for a chocolate shake, but I always, when I drive by, I always see the Good and Plenty sign, which kind of reminds me of the past. And when I was a little kid, I used to eat Now and Laters from back east in New York, and I came in here for the first time last year, and I saw that they have them, and it's kind of a hard-to-find candy. And it's kind of a touch of the past, it's like a little nostalgia.
And that's exactly what sets Marcie's Ice Cream and Candy Store apart from its competitors.
Actually, when we first got the store, Penguins was real popular. That was the big store out there, and a lot of people were going to Penguins. And now Cold Stone is the big name store that one's opening in every corner. Well, I think you get a little more for your money, and now we don't do the popular, get 6 flavors of ice cream and then you can put whatever topping and pay so much an ounce for however many toppings. We have about 30 plus flavors of ice cream available.
Well, it's time for a very short break, but when we come back, we'll tell you how the ice cream is actually made here and some of the other delicious homemade treats like chocolates. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Common Sense on City Cable Channel 3.
Low-fat cheese sandwiches on whole wheat bread. Chewy and good for you. Snacks high in calcium help build strong bones, and foods rich in fiber are good for your heart. So you have the power to dominate. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, we're visiting Marcie's Ice Cream and Candy Store located right here on the corner of Hawthorne Boulevard and 244th Street.
One of the reasons this business appealed to me is in any business, you run into quite a few people in either bad moods and a lot of them rightfully so, something bad has happened. And they're in bad moods, but in this store, 99% of the people that walk through that door are either already in a good mood, oh boy, let's go get ice cream or candy, or I'm feeling a little down, ice cream or candy will make me feel better. So they have a mindset to be in a good mood. If you're having to go to some occasion you don't want to go to and you have to go buy a new outfit, you don't want to be there, you don't want to go to the function. We're here, that people who come here, 99% of them want to be here, enjoy candy, ice cream, whatever. I think more often you have trouble with people who are bringing their kids in and they're trying to stay away from it. And so they're kind of looking the other way. They're letting the kids get something, but they're looking the other way. They don't want to be reminded that this stuff is really good. And I keep telling them that just have a little bit of arsenic's not going to hurt you. So, a little ice cream or candy does marvelous things for your disposition.
The process of making ice cream is basically the same whether it's made in your own kitchen with a hand crank, at a local homemade ice cream shop like Marcie's, or in a factory that cranks out thousands of gallons of ice cream every day.
Okay, this is the cream we get from the dairy. And I've just finished sanitizing the machine. And the buckets that the ice cream's going to go into. So we put the cream in here. Usually takes about 2 of these, they're 2.5 gallon packages. Okay, we have the cream in the machine, and this is a commercial ice cream base. And we're making pumpkin right now. I used to only make pumpkin around November, but I had so many people that liked it, it's ended up to be a year-round flavor. And so then the pumpkin goes in here. A lot of pumpkin goes in here. This makes about 3 3-gallon buckets. Okay, we turn it on, it mixes it up and then starts to freeze as soon as I turn the refrigeration on.
Besides homemade ice cream, the wide selection of popular sweet treats and hard-to-find candies is what keeps many customers like Netta Talk coming back for more.
So like you can get like anything, like the candy and all the ice cream and stuff is also like original, you know, like you can't find some of the candy anywhere else.
And many of the chocolates can't be found anywhere else because they're made right in the store.
We're going to build some turtles. They're chocolate and a nut and caramel. And today we're going to use cashews. So what I do is I put them on a tray and you sort of spread them around. And the first thing you do is put some caramel. I just use 2 spoons because it's easier to control. This thing strings awfully, so you put a little thing of caramel on there. And then you go along like you're making cookies with the caramel on top of the nuts. Pretend like you're dropping Toll House cookies. Okay, so that's the caramel. That's the hard part, so go ahead and do a couple of those.
Aren't you ever tempted to eat some of the caramel while you're
Just what I spill all over me. Let me get this out of your way. This is chocolate. We're not ready for that until the caramel gets hard. We have the nuts and the caramel right here. And now we need to build the turtle. So you have to put some bases down. So you put a little bit of chocolate here. And it's like almost like you're making drop cookies. And then you just pick up one of those and set them on there. Make sure the nuts any loose nuts come off. And then just set it on top and the chocolate will spread out. Okay.
It's easy.
Yeah. I remember saying it was hard. Okay, so now we have the bottom, the nuts, the caramel. So then you have to do a little more chocolate on top. So you put some chocolate on top and then try to make it look nice. Now the hard part is trying to make it look nice. Not too much. And then you want to get all that covered, yeah. So that's how you make a turtle. And then you just change your nut if you want different kinds of nuts. So it's chocolate, and you can use white milk or dark, whatever kind of nut you want, and the caramel. And that makes a turtle.
Well, it just takes a few minutes for the turtles to harden. In the meantime, Bonnie's going to show us how to make chocolate treats from a mold. The molds come in all shapes, designs, and sizes.
One of the things we do, Marie, is we make molds for people. So if you want a chocolate piano or a chocolate outhouse or a bumblebee, this is a mold for a bumblebee. And we put the chocolate in here. And today you and I are using milk chocolate. And you put chocolate in the mold, and then you sort of tap it to fill the spaces. So here, make a bumblebee, Marie.
Never done this before.
Okay. Now the good thing is if it goes over the edges a little bit, after it gets hard, it sort of picks it off, picks it off. Okay, so this is the bumblebee. And this is going to be a stick, so we make it a sucker. See, wasn't that hard? Now what I do is I sort of turn it to get chocolate all over the stick. We'll be putting these in the freezer to set up. And so that's a bumblebee. This is a butterfly. So the butterfly has different molds here. It's bigger and has more little recesses. So you get the chocolate all over the mold and in the spaces in the corners. And then you sort of tap it down to have it spread. So that's the butterfly. You get to do a butterfly.